Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Casper the Boy Diviner and welcome to my June recap. So I think most of you know I have been in a sort of a tarot slump, but I really enjoyed the previous video I did because it was so nostalgic to look at the different decks that actually impacted my life. So if you haven't watched that video yet, I hope you check it out. But because of that, I do feel a bit of a renewed vigor in the work that I'm going to do, or at least the tarot I'm going to explore in the next month. And yeah, before we go too far, I wanted to thank my coffee supporter for June, Alex. Alex, thank you so much for your contribution. It really helps me out and really gives me a bit of impetus to try enjoying what I'm enjoying. I don't know why sometimes it's such a slog, but thank you so much. Honestly, in the past month, in June, just to give you guys an update, I haven't really deviated from my favorite decks. The decks I've been using are still the Blood Moon Tarot, the Lubanko Tarot, and the Prisma Visions Tarot. So things haven't really changed, but I've dabbled a bit with some of my old favorites like the Bhutan Tarot, the Stella Tarot, and yeah, so I've been dabbling here and there, but still the overall ones that I used a lot were the Lubanko Tarot, the Blood Moon Tarot, and the Prisma Visions Tarot. I don't think there's anything new to add except that they are all good readers, and I'm really genuinely quite surprised again by the Prisma Visions Tarot and the Lubanko Tarot. These were tarot decks that I didn't really know how I feel about, but I really enjoy them. The Blood Moon Tarot, I already knew that I was going to enjoy it, so it's still great. And then about the decks I bought in June, I am quite overwhelmed with decks, to be very honest. There are decks that I have not even used before, including like the Fola Cost Tarot that I bought from James Feeney, and it's been months, but I couldn't help myself. I saw Terra Volatile coming on sale for their second edition, so I decided to give it a go. So it comes in a little linen finish, and I really enjoy the art. I just don't know why it feels a bit thin. But it is a linen finish, so maybe that's why. But I really recommend you guys to actually check this deck out. I think it's already sold out for the second edition. And to give you guys an update, the second edition does have some printing issues. There are white lines and white specks at the back of my cards. I will show a picture because it doesn't really show up depending on lighting. I'll show you guys a picture of how it looks. So I did contact the sellers, and they know about this, and they are so sweet and so nice about it. So they are coming up with a third edition, and for people who have like white printing when they didn't know it, because I think they actually sold some of their stock, letting people know that there were white specs and selling at a reduced price. So because I paid full price for it, they did offer to send me a third edition because mine is not great. I think it's still usable, so I'm glad they are allowing me to keep this version so I can use it in the meantime and study it while I wait for the third edition to come out. And I don't know how much I can study because yeah, again, my energy has been down and I'm not too sure why. Yeah, but it is a beautiful deck and I really hope to get to know it. I will probably do a walkthrough. I don't know if I want to wait for the next deck to come out first, or do I just want to do it now. But some of the cards make me feel a bit uncomfortable. At the same time, I'm really intrigued by them. For example, I think one of them, let me check, the Death card. This has many alternatives, and one of the Death cards alternatives is called the Mystery Collector. And I think one of my friends, Vanessa, said that she talked to the artist a lot about it, so she knows a lot, and I hope to hear from her or the artist more about that, or read on the website more about these cards, because honestly the Terra Volatile website is amazing. It has so many meanings and layers behind the cards, and I can't wait to dive into that. I don't think it's finished yet, but to whet your appetite, it's good to maybe take a look. And now I just want to talk about some of the tarot decks that I've seen on the net. To be honest, even though I am on a sort of a deck cleanse, I say that, but I bought the Terra Volatile. I am still looking at decks on Kickstarter. I don't know if I'm just waiting for a deck that really catches my eye or something that really can push my tarot slump out. But I also know that purchasing more and more decks is not going to help me with that. So I'm just holding back and taking a look. So there are some decks like the Literary Tarot. It is a very popular deck. It has reached its goal. It is surpassed its goal even by a lot. And I would say it's a beautiful deck. But I don't really get the hype. It's not something that I would get for myself, and I feel like something like this is similar to the Tarot of the Divine. So this is not an anti-haul video, but I would rather get the Tarot of the Divine, which is a mass market deck. that is beautifully illustrated as well in a nice linen finish, then to back this deck. But of course, for people who really love this deck, go ahead. I think it's a beautiful deck. It's just not something I would really go for, so I'm just glad. I just wanted to share just in case people enjoy the literary tarot. So if you really like classic literature, I think this deck will be for you. I really appreciate that they also include Sun Wukong. I love Sun Wukong as a character. He is the magician. So for me, I am attracted to some aspects of this deck. But I'm lucky enough to have more than enough decks to work with, and therefore I am not backing this one as of yet. Another Oracle deck that really caught my eye on Kickstarter, and I am still tempted to back it, but I'm holding myself back because I don't do well with Oracles. Look at all the Oracle decks that I've backed, like the Materia Prima. I don't even know whether I did a walkthrough of that, but I just don't know how to use it. I'm still learning with the Cosma Visions as well. It's quite a struggle, and I think you really need to put time into studying the Oracle decks that you use, especially if they have a system. Some decks don't, some just want you to rely purely on intuition. I don't know, I just don't know. I feel like I need more practice, I need more time. If I'm rich, I can stop working and work on what I'm interested in. I keep telling myself that these days, like I need to somehow make it big or something. But anyway, the deck I wanted to talk about is the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle, the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle. It is so beautiful, guys. I really urge all of you to go on Kickstarter now and take a look at this deck. It is dark enough for me to be interested because I love dark decks. It has skeletons, yeah, it's that graveyard kind of motif. And I really like the embroidered textural nature of it. The cards themselves won't be embroidered, but they are pictures of the embroidery that the artist has made. Who doesn't love working with crone goddesses and death matrons? I think it is a great deck with a lot of potential. I just don't know if I can get it right now. I don't know if it will be too much for me. I'm still thinking, I'm still sitting on it. Shipping being $16 USD for international, that's a bit much for me. So I'm just not sure because it is also charged after the fact. I just don't feel comfortable sometimes when shipping is charged after the fact, because I have had experiences where they quoted some shipping, the campaign is over, and then they jack up the prices of the shipping because I mean naturally shipping prices have increased since then, and the business was not about to absorb the increased prices. And I understand where they're coming from. It's just crazy to think that I could be paying more for shipping than the actual item after the campaign is over. And getting a refund is so painful, you know. I really enjoy this deck. I like the concept. I like the art. I just can't justify the price of the shipping especially. And I also cannot justify my time and energy to learn something new like this. Another beautiful nature-based deck is the Pacific Northwest Tarot. I think if you are living in the Pacific Northwest, this would be a great deck to add to your collection because you are intimately involved with these creatures or these motifs or these symbols. So I think it's a great deck for people who live there, and I really like learning about it and looking at it, but it's not something that I think would be good for me as a reader because I can't naturally just you know, have my own correspondences. There are a lot of people talking about a Singapore deck, you know, in Singapore, and how we should create one. I think it's a great idea. I think we need something that is focused on our local motifs. But at this point in time, I don't know if there's a great artist enough to do that, or someone who reads the tarot well enough and knows Singapore well enough and loves Singapore well enough to do something like that. I mean, it's also in my mind. Can you imagine the Malayan being the strength card? That would be so cute. I don't know. I don't know how serious that deck should be because it is kind of a local thing. Yeah, and I always dreamed of, you know, improving my art skills because they are pretty mediocre or even bad. But and people say you can always hire an artist, but I feel like if I want to do something in the tarot space, I want it to be 100% me. So, you know, we'll see. The last deck that I wanted to talk about today that I saw on Kickstarter is the Dream Vision Tarot. This is a tarot that is done by an Asian woman. So you know me, Emma Zhang. I love Asian women. I'm always inspired by them. It is when I look at the images, I feel like it's more of a elevated Mystic Monday kind of vibe. Because I don't really endorse Mystic Monday's creator, Grace Duong, even though she's an Asian woman. There are things that she has done that I don't really super gel with. This one looks like more up my alley and something that I would use, you know. Then again, the shipping is 25 USD. For international, I don't really super enjoy it so much that I would want to fork out so much money. Plus, I am on a pretty tight budget in July and June. You know, I'm gonna hold back. Yeah, crypto is down. This is so irrelevant to my channel, but crypto is down. And even though it doesn't affect my daily life, I am saving and investing in it. So I just want to be prudent enough in case I lose all of it. I don't need investment advice. People have been fighting me on this and it feels so uncomfortable, but I'm only investing what I can lose in crypto. And that's it, guys. I don't really have much else to say except that I'm waiting for my Hackathon book by Jack Grail to come. It's been almost 12 weeks already, and I'm getting a bit worried because it's supposed to reach before 12 weeks and I still haven't gotten it, and I don't have tracking because I didn't pay for it. Tracking was like £30 or something, I can't remember, something crazy. And I just can't wait to work more on my spirituality. My meditation has been up and down, hasn't been consistent, and I also really feel like I want to work with more Greek gods and goddesses like Apollo and Hecate or Hecate. So, you know, we'll see. I bought a book about Hecate. Hopefully I read it. Hopefully I get to absorb it. You know, and yeah, that's my June for you guys. Can you believe that it's already been half a year? Let me know how you've been managing, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And you guys have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye.